one thing I think we can agree on is we shouldn't shut down the government over a dispute. And you want to shut it down. You keep talking about it.
The last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened it up very quickly. And
20 times.
I don't want to do what you did.
20 times
Chuck,
you have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my wool. None of us have said.
You want to know something?
You've said it.
Okay, you want to put that on my...
You've said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And
We
I am
disagree.
proud, and I'll
We
tell you
disagree.
what, I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting down. And I'm going to shut it down for border security.
But we believe you shouldn't shut it down.
Thank you very much, everybody.
When you were told not to vote for this regime that is about to take place, then you said no, you want to vote for the greatness of America. You want to make America great again. And with all that has happened, and is still happening, farmers are bankrupt, farmers are crying out for bailout, and bailout is not forthcoming. Now, the latest is that the government is about to be shut down. President Trump said he's going to shut down if the Democrats do not vote against health care bill to be annulled, that they can't keep paying for migrant health care bill. So they should shut it down, that they are no longer interested in funding the health care of the citizen of America. They can say they are illegal migrant, but we all know that most of those guys are legal migrant. They have green card, they are working there. So it's simply saying that they are waste and they can't afford it anymore. And that if the Democrats, the senators, the Congress, if they refuse to pass the bill and shut it down, that is going to shut down the government. And the reason is because it wants to cut down waste, fraud, and all of that. And the question is, how long is it going to cut down benefit that government is giving to the American citizen? Every time he's saying that there's waste, there's wastage, there's leakage, there's fraud. Don't forget, he has cut a lot of bill, a lot of fundings that the government used to do. He has cut a lot, and yet he still want to cut more. Guys, let's go watch out these videos, and I'll be right back to discuss this. Please watch to the end so that you can know exactly what is happening, and you can give your view and perception concerning what I've put for you. Thank you for doing it. And of course, if you love this great content, do it to subscribe, like, and share. Credits are given to our content in this video. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
The era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now. But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign. We would thank you for your service. For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons, based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. We've pretended that combat arms and non-combat arms are the same thing. We've weeded out so-called toxic leaders under the guise of double-blind psychology assessments, promoting risk-averse, go-along-to-get-along conformists instead. You name it, the department did it. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading, and we lost our way. We became the woke department, but not anymore. This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it.
Figured out Trump's little secret, and he's going to try to pull it off right in front of us. Now, I don't know if he's going to let the government shut down, but if he does, I know he's not going to lose a wink of sleep over it, because the Bureau of Labor Statistics, he just released a 73-page report on what they'll do if the government shuts down. And in that 73-page report was the news that they will not release a September jobs report on Friday if the government is shut down. Also won't release weekly unemployment claims. And in the middle of October, if the government's still shut down, they won't release inflation data either. And on top of that, they're going to stop collecting data from employers the whole time, which would virtually guarantee October's report is corrupted and incomplete, not unlike every sentence out of Trump's mouth. And the timing really couldn't be better, because a major job market researcher just announced that seasonal hiring is the lowest it's been since 2009, which, if you recall, was a catastrophic recession. And of course, everyone knows the job market is trash because of Donald Trump's tariffs and the nonstop chaos in the economy, when all employers want is stability. But Trump wants to hide from it, because if you don't count it, it isn't real. Just like back in 2020, when a whole ship full of passengers who were sick desperately needed a dock so that the passengers could find a hospital. Trump didn't want them to dock here, not because he was worried about getting doctors sick, but because he didn't want to count 14 cases. Because really, when it comes down to it, that is all we are to people like Trump. Numbers. If we're good, he claims them, and if they're bad, he either hides from it or blames us for it. Unfortunately for Trump, because we live in the real world, not in mansions with golden ballrooms, we don't need the BLS to tell us it's terrible. All we have to do is ask ourselves one question. Is Trump still the president? We see you, Donald, and we'll see you at the midterms.
I want to show you these pictures of Republicans walking out and adjourning the meeting. Half the room is full with Democrats wanting to save health care for 28 million Americans and children. Also, the $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts. Half the room is full and half is empty. If you believe what the Republicans are saying, which they've been lying this whole time, you can Google. If you believe that we give illegal immigrants Medicaid, the simple first Google search you will see from AI is that no, we do not. Then you could take it further. Donald Trump has already gotten rid of over 1 million workers so far. This has been devastating to the economy, but also mostly Washington, D.C., which has 6% unemployment. 6%. The federal workforce is the largest employer. He wants to punish people, fire people, and force you to be poor and broke and scavenging. Please call your elected officials and let them know you do not agree with this. In 2013, Donald Trump said, "It is the president's fault if the government shuts down." The government is owned, the House of Representatives, by Republicans, the Senate, the White House, and also, unfortunately, the Supreme Court.
As we inch closer to a government shutdown, this morning you said you might do a lot of layoffs. If DOGE is already reducing the federal workforce, why is it necessary to link more federal jobs cut to a shutdown?
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down, so when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats. As you know, this country, no country can afford to pay for illegal immigration, health care for everybody that comes into the country, and that's what they're insisting. And obviously I have an obligation to not accept that. That would affect everybody. You know, when I see what we're doing with AI and all the plants that are opening up in the country, $17 trillion is coming. And if you compare that to Biden, Biden had in 4 years less than $1 trillion. We have 17 trillion, more than that. I think it's going to be much more than that, David. By the end of this year, I think it's going to be far over that. It's a record. It's already a record in 8 months. It's a record by a lot. We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that.
So Donald Trump just said the quiet part out loud on national TV while arguing with Chuck Schumer from the Senate, where he said the unbelievable on live TV, basically declaring that he is absolutely a dictator and he will use the military to get his way. You literally cannot make this stuff up. Check this out.
One thing I think we can agree on is we shouldn't shut down the government over a dispute. And you want to shut it down. You keep talking about it.
The last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened it up very
20
quickly.
times.
And
20 times.
I don't want to do what you did.
20 times
Chuck,
you have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my wool. None of us have said.
You want to know something?
You've said
okay,
it.
you want to put that on
You've
my...
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay.
And there you have it, folks. The normalization of dictatorship, basically threatening the sitting minority leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, with military action if he does not get his way. Basically telling the Congress, you answer to me. There is no more separation of power. We cannot allow this normalization of authoritarianism, dictatorship, and threats of military use to continue in America any longer. Guys, spread the word on this because this is integral to our future as Americans. Also, follow us for more. We need your support over on our Substack because they keep shutting us down over on these social media apps, but they cannot shut us down over on Substack. Link is in the bio.
For how long will this continue? For how long will the people of America go through this process of government denying its responsibility to the citizen of America? For how long? I'm asking this question because it's becoming unbecoming. It's happening every time. The government is never ending on how to defund the people, on how to give the people the basic responsibility that is required of the government. The healthcare delivery service is gone. Medicaid, gone. School funding, gone. Tariff increment, available. Illegal migrants, deported. Even though a lot of them have legal status. And up until now, ICE is going on the street, picking up people that are legally allowed to stay in America. Most of them with green card, most of them, they have the visa and their permit. But this government has said it's going to be removing everybody simply because it does not want to spend any expenses on migrants anymore. It said Medicaid, healthcare service, and all of those payments that have been done by the government, he said it must be removed. And if it is not done before the first, that is going to shut down the government. And when it does that, jobs are going to be cut down. I mean, you guys have watched the video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It says it's going to cut down on government job. People are crying there are no job. Now this administration is saying again it's still going to cut down on all the jobs of the people. Then I wonder, what is going to be the hope of the people? When is this going to end? When is this going to stop? It looks like these questions begs for an answer. But the answer seems not to come from this administration because this administration is bent on carrying out its agenda by sacking people, by taking the few jobs that is available from the people, and the people are going to be stranded. The people are going to be hopeless. Like, what is going to happen to them? How would they be able to afford to feed and take care of the family? But this administration looks like it does not really care. What it cares about the most is that it wants to cut wastages, cut fraud, cut government spending. Well, they don't look bad anyway. But when all of this is happening at a time when there's inflation, when there's high cost of living, when there's high cost of grocery prices, rentage is high, bills are high, and you've placed a tariff that has made the people, especially the farmer, to go bankrupt. It has made the people not to be financially buoyant. Farmers are selling their farmlands, and all of these things are happening at the same time. Yet, you still want to go ahead and shut down the government by cutting jobs and cutting the aids that people have access to. Then for me, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to explain or describe this situation. But what I know is that you voted for this. And everything that is happening is because you voted for the government that does not really care about the welfare of the people. Tell me, if this government care, we can see, we can tell. But let me put the question to you. Does this government care about the welfare of its people? I'll leave you to respond to that. Let the conversation begin at the comment section, guys. I want to hear your views, your perception, and everything that you think. Let the conversation begin. Thank you guys for watching. As I await your responses at the comment section, do it to subscribe, like, and share this video if you love this great content. Thank you guys. Like I always say, stay in peace, stay in love, and bye-bye.